What do I do when a client doesn't have the budget for a luxury experience? I don't do it.
Okay, great answer.
Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm with my girl, my homegirl, my big sister and makeup artist, Miss Erica Nikole.
Hey guys.
She's going to be teaching me how to do my face for the channel so I can look cute for you guys and presentable, more so natural though, you know, we don't want to do too crazy. But we're gonna have some fun and answer the questions that people asked me on Instagram for today's Q&A. And you can follow me on Instagram at _rayofsunshine and at the event parlor, and I'll make sure to put that here and in the description box below. So let's get started.
So the first thing that we're going to do is just cleanse our skin. Obviously, if we were doing this on a regular day, she would have gotten out the shower or whatever.
But take a shower.
Okay. So she got out the shower. So we're just going to lightly cleanse her face with a wipe then, okay? But this is really important to get all the oils off of your face so that your makeup lays well. And then I just like to hydrate the skin with a mist. Can you see? Wait, I want to do like how they do on the...
That's fine.
Wait, there you go. Okay, close your eyes.
I would tell my 25-year-old self it gets better later and everything's not as bad as you think it is now. To just pace yourself. Don't think about what's happening in the future. Just think about the present. Focus on the present while you can get to your future. And while you're focusing on what's going on around you, just continue looking towards your goals and be present with your friends and family too. Don't leave too many things behind to where you lose yourself in your work and you lose yourself in life's events and not going on focusing what's in front of you and having fun in those moments there. So that's what I would tell my 25-year-old.
The next thing we're going to do is start with Erica's brows. She likes a very light brow. So I'm just going to lightly shed it in. I actually like your brows with shadow.
With shadow?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is?
Mm-hmm. Because I just ran out of the pencil, so... Okay, so now we're going to do what's called underscoring, and we're going to go underneath the brow with a little bit of concealer just to make that line super sharp and crisp.
Oh, what do I do when a client doesn't have the budget for a luxury experience? I don't do it.
Okay, great answer.
The price, today's price. What is it?
It's
Yesterday's price is not today's price. So if someone really wants to work with me, depending on where the budget starts, so we have minimums at our business. I will not state what the minimums are here, but we do have minimums that we have to work with in order to, that you have to work with in order to book us. So if you don't at least meet the minimum, is honestly nothing that I can do to help you, because we want to not only be able to produce a beautiful, elaborate event, we want to make sure that we get paid for it as well. And we, meaning the staff, the vendors, anything and everything in between. So if you do meet the minimum, what we're able to do is kind of not the bare minimum, like it won't look bare, but we can do something to make sure that it's going along with your vision, what we can add to it, and making sure all bases are covered. So that's how I work with the budgets that are a little lower, on the lower side than the higher end. As far as pricing goes, pricing starts with your experience in the industry, as well as what's required and your market. So if you don't know your market, especially, okay, let's start with Philly, for instance. Philly market honestly is lowball. Compared to New York, compared to LA, Philly is a little on the lower scale when it comes to events. We like the nicer things, but for whatever reason, we just don't do that well with the pricing. Not saying that we as people don't, but just like the general market itself is just not priced as it would be priced in New York or LA, because those prices are expected. In Philly, what we do for pricing, for what I do for pricing, I'm able to research what the next person is charging, or just research what I need for each client's event or types of events, or just think about what I would want to do as far as my business goes and how I want an event to look. So I could just look at a Kardashian event and see what can I do to make it look similar but on a budget, and figure out those mediums, figure out what my staff would need to make, figure out what vendors need to make, everything in between, and also what our general price statement is. So when it comes to that, that can help me with the pricing. But if you're just starting out and you want to know how you should price things, I would say, I could tell you know your worth all I want to tell you, but that's kind of cliche. Everybody's worth is different. And even if you start off as like this is day one for you, you probably still think you worth what the Kardashians pay somebody, and that's all and well fine. So literally figure out what your worth is. We can start there. That's fine. I want to make sure you're making your cut and everybody else in between is getting paid. Me personally, how I got to a place of not being concerned about if somebody would pay me, I just knew if they couldn't pay me that they were not my client. Simple as that. And if you feel that way too, then rock with that. Somebody will book you.
I'm just putting a skin tone powder on your eye so that the concealer that I used to sculpt your eyebrow out is set and it won't crease.
How do you find out your skin tone?
I recommend people go get matched. I think that's the best way, because honestly, skin tone is very relative. Like, I know for me, I think I'm a lot darker than I am, so I buy foundation that's darker than my real skin tone, but that's how I like to look. Some people want to be lighter. It just all depends on the person. So I would get matched. Also, I recommend having 2 foundations. I don't think, I mean, some people can match all to one, but for dimension purposes, I think you should use 2. You should use a darker foundation around the perimeter of your face and a lighter one in the center, like in the T-zone. If the eyelash is too long for your lid, which is almost every woman, it's rare that I have a client that can fit a whole lash. You want to just cut it in the middle, and you want to cut it from the band. Kind of like, remember weave? Like, you got to cut it from the tray. You can't cut into it. Same thing with lashes. So you want to cut it. And you could just cut in the middle to make it easier. And then you apply the first piece in this beginning like you normally would. And then you overlap the second piece from the end. And then it fits your eye perfectly. You get it? Okay.
I just literally put the lash on.
Yeah.
That thing be fluttering in the wind. I'm honestly inspired by the people around me. So if you're following the Event Parlor page, you would have seen our Mixed Metals published work. Our Mixed Metals look was inspired by Erica Nikole, simply because she likes to do things that are outside of the box. And she pushed me out of my comfort zone that day. Way out of my comfort zone.
And it was so pretty.
And it came out so pretty. We had silver, gold, black, white, gray. Like, it was all these different metal tones. All these tones and even different textures. So we had, I believe, satin napkins. We had marble charger plates. So we went way outside of the box. But my clients honestly inspire me. I look into what they're into and how we can use that to our advantage for a special event.
Okay guys, that's it for now, but stay tuned for part 2 with Erica Nikole and myself to finish the Q&A and makeup tutorial.